With that, you heard it here first. Stay tuned, stand by for Airtech, because Airtech is going to revolutionize this whole internet and disrupt all the businesses you can. Maza, but I'm just so amazing. I can't wait. Honestly, because you know when you think about it, compared to other places, we are still quite way behind. And I think that the technology that Airtech is bringing in is just going to basically leapfrog. It's going to be a quantum leap.
I think it's all a question of cheap data, you know, getting access to cheap data, you know, because out there, like I said, most homes have fixed rates for their data. You know, they have unlimited data at fixed rates. So if you got a family of 6 at home, you're probably paying anywhere between $30, $50 a month for your whole family to access the internet with unlimited data. You know, so you realize that a lot of lifestyle habits are changing. Last time I was in UK, for instance, with my family, my kids, I realized I was the only one watching program television. You know, the kids were on their parts doing their Nickelodeons and all their
whatever they want to see,
whatever they wanted on demand. My sister, who was an avid fan of Fox TV, and I was only one behind the television set, waiting for someone to program for me. You know, so you realize that lifestyle habits are changing. People are accessing content on demand. You know, watch it when they want to watch it, how they want to watch it. You know, so that's obviously the trend. You know, but that's only happening because they have access to cheap data. You know, a lot of habits are changing. Millennials are not really going into the shops to buy anymore. They're hardly even going to restaurants and stuff like that because everything is on demand. You need it, you buy. I find that people are even, vets are now even on demand. You know, with digital analytics, you get a situation where all your lifestyle habits are being analyzed for suggestions to companies for sales. So you have a situation where you've even now got intelligent refrigerators in people's home. You know, you go to the supermarket, they're analyzing all your buying habits. You know, so you'd be surprised to be at home, you're down to your last egg, and your refrigerator has already placed an order for your
to refill.
To refill, you're down to your last lager, and somebody's already at your door supplying lager. That's where the world is getting to. You know, and it's all because of cheap data. You know, everything is on demand, and I see us going that way very soon.
And it's so true. Actually, because you are bringing my mind to it, you know, I go and sit by my TV because I want to watch the KSM show. Oh, Friday night.
Yes.
You know, but we've gotten to the time that when now I don't decide on Friday at 9. Any day that I want, I shall go.
KSM's latest episode on demand. You know, you got people following things like, let's take a case example, Game of Thrones. You know, you put whatever episode you want to watch and watch it when you want to watch it. You don't need to wait till 7 o'clock on some particular station to catch the Game of Thrones. You want the latest episode, you get it on demand.
And that's where the world is going.
That's where the world is going.
And so you're coming in at this point with Airtech is like really not only timely, but it's like really strategic.
Strategic, exactly. You know, we're definitely going to get there. So
yeah,
I mean,
definitely,
it's a question of starting now. And I think Ghana is ready for it. I think I read some research somewhere that placed Ghana as one of the leading countries in Africa that are ready for this type of tech.
Really?
I think we're about number 3 on the continent.
I think we are 1 or 2 in terms of penetration of the mobile phones. Ghana is way up there, either the highest or the second highest.
So we're not doing bad in that direction. But I think government probably needs to place a lot more emphasis on this whole digital revolution. I know the vice president is doing his bit with all this digitization of the economy, but
he talks about it a lot.
He does. I think he's seen the picture, you know, and I know there's a plan to really connect all the government agencies across the country. You know, there's this e-connectivity and e-transact program going on. And I think once that is done, it should change a lot. I see that growing the economy by 2 or 3 percentage points.
So have you sat down with some big wigs to just give them a peek of what is about to?
Oh yes, a few big wigs. Let's say I've been contacted by a few people, discussing the possibilities. Well, like I say, I want stuff on the ground before we get into
I like that. Yeah. I like that. Have things in place.
Yeah, we don't want to be talking theory. We want to.
Wow. And because you do so much with art stuff too, I'm sure this plays a major role. I remember though, by the way, let's jump into music now. Because after the Vodafone, is it fiasco or saga or whatever it was?
Yes. The Shattergate.
Yeah, or Shattergate. Shattergate. Yeah. You're one of the people that were quite vocal on social media.
Yeah.
But when we were chatting, you told me how structurally the whole musical thing in Ghana.
Yes, I think that the problem really stems from lack of oversight for the industry. We talk about, we don't really have a music industry, to be honest.
We don't.
We don't. If we want to talk about music industry in the real sense, we don't. Because I think we're building without the necessary structures and foundation for an industry. We like Reggie once said, we've got a music scene. We can't call it
but not an industry.
Yes, because the industry is not just made up of artists. There are a lot of stakeholders that come together to form an industry. You've got media broadcasters, you've got record companies, you've got producers, you've got digital or distributing companies, you've got publishing. All these elements come together to form an industry. But we just talk about music, and I think we were, so far as I can remember, we started at a point, but I think, I don't know, we took our eye off the ball. Way back in the 70s, I think, when you had the likes of Faisal Hewani and those old guys, they had some structures in place. You had AC Bonds and all the. Yeah. We had actual record companies, Ambassador Records.
Yeah.
That was when we had some form of industry, But I think right after the 70s, really after Osibisa, I think we lost the plot a bit. I think the 79 Rollins era revolution also had a big toll on the music, because I think with all the curfews and everything, we lost that whole entertainment vibe, and we've not recovered since. Around 95, when I got back into the system again, I started something with Reggie called Hip Life, which was really a plan to develop some sort of youth culture around music, because we realized that the young ones were not really relating to what was going on musically. So we came up with this thing called Hip Life, which is what we've had up till now. But somewhere along the line, I then got into media, and I think once again we took our eyes off the ball. The Nigerians came in, took advantage of what we'd built, and now they are riding high with Afrobeat and getting all the attention. I hear a lot of musicians, a lot of people say, the Ghana music industry, government has to invest in music, we need to pay, but we don't have the structures, so somewhere along the line, I think I spoke to a few of my old pals, Ibrahim Ohinijan, Rex Omar, a few others, and we all decided that maybe we need to come back and try and put this thing right. Some structures in. So I realized that part of the problem was also that a lot of the stakeholder groupings were not talking to each other. There was no unity among the music fraternity in Ghana, which was one of the big hurdles that we had to cross. So I decided that we form the Ghana Music Industry Organization, to basically provide...
Ghana Music Industry Organization?
Yes.
And that would be different from Musica?
Well, actually, the membership of Ghana Music Industry Organization is made up of Musica, GAMU, Telecom Chamber, GEBA, all the key sectors that play a role in the industry. So I've been able to bring all these various groups together to form the Ghana Music Industry Organization, which is made up of GAPI, which is the producers basically in Phonographic Manufacturers Association. You've got Musica, which is the Musicians Union. You've got GAMRO, which is the Royalty Collecting Agency. We've got GIBA, the Independent Broadcasters. Then we've got the Telecom Chamber, because with the era of digitizations, they play a huge role in that. So we came together to form this Ghana Music Industry Organization, and we're now actually putting in the structures.
So that has been formed already?
That has been formed already, yes. Formed, registered, you know, we have our membership, and we've been working for probably since the beginning of the year, you know, and we've come up with a lot of structures. You know, we've created what will soon be launching as the Ghana Artist Registry. So basically what we're trying to do is also collect data on the industry, because that's also missing. So it makes it difficult for any business or investor to pump money into the sector if you don't really have data to play with. You know, so part of this registry would be able to collect or register all Ghanaian content. In fact, we've just even expanded it beyond music. The artist registry is for the creative arts in general. So it will cover musicians, it will cover the movie producers, it would cover fine arts, visual arts, painters, sculptors, you know. So what this does, it gives you an opportunity to go in there, register as an artist. You know, it gives you the opportunity to upload your content, be it music, be it movies, you know. And one of the things that we're trying to achieve with that is to now be able to break that down and then track everything that's happening with the industry in terms of the creative arts. So for music, what we'll be looking at as well would be to create our own music store to sell the content ourselves, because there's a disconnect between what is happening now and what we need to be doing. Because at the moment, what is happening with the artists, they produce the stuff, the content, a lot of them put it online for free.
Yeah.
If it's free online, how do you then intend to sell it or expect anyone to buy it if it's available for free?
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that we want to do, register the content, you know, or what I call, we got 3 steps. We secure the content, we promote the content, and monetize. So first, we got to be able to secure the content by basically ensuring that the artists don't put the content on there for free. Register the content, we then issue you with what we call identifiers. There's a standard code, international standard recording code, that stays for the particular content for the lifetime of the content. So we issue with a code, which then means that our system can track the activity of that content anywhere online or in any space, because we can identify your product. The second phase then is also to create a way of marketing Ghanaian content outside. So we're putting in the links, the necessary links and foundations to do that. Then the third is to monetize, which is really the biggest, should I say, revolution that needs to happen. Because at the moment, the little that's being done is our guys record, they put the content on Apple Music, Spotify, and all those international platforms. But what that platforms don't provide is an integration into our local payment systems. So if you have a situation,
stuff, for example, on Spotify, there's no way to monetize it.
There is, but only on internationally, because what is the main way of accessing that content? Using credit cards. But really, our market is local before we go international. So if you have a situation where Auntie Mansa, who sells kaklo by the junction, cannot access a Shatawale song, even though she's a big follower of Shatawale, then there's a problem. Because, I mean, how many people have, percentage-wise, have access to credit cards to be able to buy online? Majority of our banking system, we've been cut out from PayPal and most of those platforms anyway. So the only way this is going to work is if we're able to integrate
the local payment systems.
The local payment systems into whatever platforms we choose to sell our music on. So what we're doing is developing our own platform that's integrated into our local payment systems, mobile money, scratch cards, Easy Pay, all these various platforms that we have, which should then make it easy for anybody, because these days everybody's got access to mobile money, so Antimansa selling Cooke can buy a Shatawale, or we are with the telcos on board as well, what we're doing, because the direction or the in thing now seems to be streaming. So if we're able to do like a partnership with the telcos, let's say with the MTNs and whatever, and we create a platform that has a huge subscriber base. We've got, with MTN alone, over 18 million subscribers. If we can just have a subscriber following to, let's say, our content with just 5 million people subscribing, even at $1 or 5 cedis a month for streaming, that provides revenue of about $5 million a month. That's how you make revenue and you create employment and you build an industry. So we need to put in the right pillars and structures for our musicians to be able to make money off the content. At the moment, they're not. Apart from live performances, there's no other avenues for a musician to make money.
To make money.
Once you go on international platforms, those international platforms are not being marketed locally. So you just get a few guys from the diaspora who have access that might buy.
So you're looking at creating a platform specifically for local content?
For local content, yes.
Okay. And
then I shouldn't say we're looking at, we've already created it.
We've already created that.
We've created that, yes.
And you have tapped, you're plugged into the payment system, so that's what you're figuring out.
No, that's the easy part. I mean, plugged into the payment system is not a problem.
And what's the difference going to make on our local musicians?
Huge.
Yeah. Are they on board?
Huge.
Are they?
Well, their parent organizations are on board, but I think we need to have another maybe artist and stakeholder engagement. To basically, there's a lot of education that needs to go on before we can get this right. So that's the next phase, what we're about to do, to have those engagements with all the artists to get them to understand the vision and where we want to go with this. Because I believe once that is done, we're looking at creating a multi-million, income generator for the music industry. And then we can, one of the other things that we're also looking at with coming together with all these groupings, we are now actually deciding on a methodology to institute our own official chart system, because when you look around the world, every country's got an official chart system. In America, you've got Billboard. In the UK, you've got the UK Music that organizes the charts. In Germany, you've got GFK. In South Africa, I think you've got, is it RISA or one of those companies that handles the charts? Because it's an industry thing. So we're about to also officially launch Ghana's official top 20, which will be based on real data, not any guesswork by any group of people. Because once we put these systems in place, we're able to monitor, we're able to churn out data. At the end of the year, we will know exactly how much music is generated in a
So how ready is this to go? Are you still in the phase of compiling things, or you're ready?
In terms of systems, we're ready. But what is left is the whole educational bit and getting people to understand and prepping them for what's about to come. Because we need everybody on board. That once all industry players, stakeholders understand that, well, this is how we build an industry and this is how artists are actually going to generate revenue, then it's time to go. One of the other things that we just came up with since this Shatawale thing is also a code of ethics for the industry, because we felt it was needed. Because there's no oversight. That's why these things happen. But once we get all artists to commit to a certain code of ethics, then we're shaping the industry in the right direction. Because there are a lot of things that we need to address. Graphic and obscene content being accessible to kids. Radio stations not, maintaining the discipline as to what to play and when to play them, you know. And in fact, there's also a whole lot of mess in the whole media industry. We've got a media commission that doesn't seem to be biting. You've got a situation where all kinds of stuff, pastors selling all kinds of potions for money making and you know, freely no regulation
whatsoever. Nobody checks.
You know, so why do we have a media commission? I thought that's the job of the media commission to stamp on things like that, you know, but nobody seems to care. So there's a lot that we need to address, you know. So unfortunately, that brings me back into the media space. We need to address these things.
Yeah, you can't leave the media space, man.
You know,
it's always there.
So with people like you know, who've been drumming and talking shop for years, I think we need to come back and address some of these things because they are being left unattended, and I think it can have a negative effect on the direction of.
Mike, let's get personal a bit because we've talked all about this great business, disruption that's about to hit, and then the music. Personally, your family?
Yeah, they're well. Got 2 lovely daughters and a beautiful wife.
You stopped at 2 or the?
I'm not sure if I've stopped, you know. I'll probably drop 1 more.
Oh, you're going to drop 1 more?
Yeah, I think.
On the way or thinking for?
Yeah, I probably need a junior, so.
A Mike Junior.
Yeah, Mike Junior,
yeah.
So that might be in the works.
Michael Cooke, man. Thank you so much. And stick around, folks. We'll be right back.
The KSM Show.